Greetings, this is Rohit from ResumeGuru, and today we're going to learn how to make a good business analyst resume. So let's get started. So who is a business analyst? A business analyst is someone who ensures that the business needs are accurately understood and translated into effective solutions through data analysis, documentation, and stakeholder collaboration. This role is very crucial in identifying gaps, inefficiencies, or opportunities, and to help make teams informed decisions. So now that we understand that, let's learn how to make a good resume for this field. So here are some of the essential things to include in this resume. The number one being using action-oriented language to describe your work. Now, whenever you're describing a work experience, start off sentences with action verbs such as achieved, led, directed, accomplished. Things like these make you sound more proactive and more action-oriented. Next is adding the tools that you've used with context. The role of business analyst requires using tools such as MS Excel, Power BI, and a lot of other such tools. So you do not only have to mention the tools that you've used, but give the context for it in the experience section. That, okay, if you use Power BI, what did you do when you use Power BI? Next is quantifying the impact of your work. Adding your experience in measurable terms makes it a lot easier for the recruiter to see the impact you had, such as reduced expenses by 30% or improved efficiency by 20% or reduced time taken by a certain amount, something like that. When you mention that, that actually shows real results. That is something the recruiter can actually see that you've done rather than just giving generic sentences. Lastly, keep relevant certifications and projects. If you've done any projects, whether for a company or solo, you should add them, or if you have any certifications that are relevant for the field of business analyst, keep them in your resume because they will add more value. Now we'll look at a resume sample for a business analyst to understand better. So this is the sample of a business analyst that we made for a client. Obviously, we have removed any private information and replaced it with dummy content. So let's look at it in more detail. We'll start off with the contact information section. This is where you add your name, your title. In the title, you can add things like improvement and operational efficiency, business analysis, KPI tracking, things like that to immediately catch the attention of the recruiter. And then you give contact information such as email, phone, and your LinkedIn details. You can add a LinkedIn URL here. Next is the profile section. Now the profile section is where you personalize your skills, experience, and career aspirations, and you make it tailored for the role that you are applying for. You can keep it 3 to 4 lines, or you can even make it, in bullet points, but keep it brief. So for this client, we have mentioned dynamic business analyst with a robust background in business analytics, process improvement, data-driven decision making, etc. So enhancing operational efficiency, reducing costs, and tracking key KPIs and things like that. All of these are relevant keywords that are important for this particular field. So we have mentioned them in the summary itself. What this helps with is the recruiter gets to see all of these useful things upfront as soon as they start reading. Next is the core competency section. It's similar to skill section. This is where you add all the core competencies that are very job specific, emphasis on the job specific part. So for this particular client, we have added things like process improvement, data analysis, market research, sales strategy development, stakeholder engagement, project management. All of these are very important keywords for business analyst role. So we have mentioned them here. This is a great way for improving the ATS performance of your resume. We've also made a technical skill section where you can add things like your Office suite, SQL, Agile methodology, or Power BI, any technical skills, any software, any tools, any even coding languages if necessary. You can add them here. Next is the experience section. The experience section is the most important part of a resume because this is what the recruiter pays the most attention to. This is where you practically apply all the skill sets you have, and mentioning everything in good detail is very important. An experience section works in reverse chronological order. So you start with the latest experience and go to the oldest. You have to mention the name of your role, the name of your company, and also the date from when to when you work there. And then you have to mention all the roles and responsibilities in bullet points. When you're writing the sentences for experience, you have to start them with action verbs such as analyze, collaborate, conduct, led, define. And you also have to use a lot of keywords such as KPIs, root cause analysis, competitive analysis, and even use numbers or metrics wherever you can. And you can even divide into key achievements. So for this particular client, we have added things like quarterly sales analysis, which led to 40% increase, or KPI tracking, which led to 20% improvement in visibility, things like that. When you add these numbers and metrics and your key achievements, that makes you sound even more credible. And you have to do the same thing for other experiences too. You can skip adding your grades because only as a fresher they are important. But after you've gained some experience, the grades do not matter as much. Next is the project section. If you've undertaken any projects that are relevant for your field, you can add them here. So for this particular client, we have added things like a stuck deal analysis, and then you have to explain these projects in similar detail. You can give them in bullet points, such as the same way you give them for the experience section. Lastly, we have the certification section. This is where you add any certificates that you've gained throughout the course of your career. For things such as business analytics certification, SEO certification, Python certification, IBM certification, any certifications that you deem are relevant, you can add them here, because this also makes you sound more credible, especially as a fresher. So this is our entire coverage on how to make a good business analyst resume. If you want to check out this resume and also read our article on it, click the link in the bio. If you have any questions for us, please drop them in the comment section below. And if you want to reach out to us directly, you can also visit our website or check out our WhatsApp number and send us a message there. Both of them should be visible on your screen below. Thank you so much and have a great day.